I just love playing around out on the ice. I love shooting all the shapes, the bubbles of methane, everything to do with ice. But of course I only walk out there when it's thick enough and I'm wearing my cleats. And of course when it's been warm enough to melt all the snow off it. The snowy owl was trying to blend in. But with this recent run of warm weather, the snow and ice is melting quickly. By the edges of sloughs, it's letting the brown of samphire show through, and the green ice crystals on nubbins of algae along the shore. But thanks to that gusty, warm Chinook wind, none of that's going to last very long. This great horned owl was trying to shelter from it in a willow tree. It's amazing how far these guys can turn their heads. And Canada geese were battling it as they circled to land in a field to feed. At least they didn't have to dig through snow for anything. But Keogh Lake was completely frozen over, which is kind of the reason I went there. I was really hoping there'd be an ice ridge built up on the lake. These things form when water freezes quickly and expands and hits the shore and bends the ice until it cracks. Kind of cool. So I put my cleats back on and walked out to explore it. It was just as amazing as I thought it would be. Getting the camera down into the cracks and shooting the melting ice. It was pretty cool to see. But trying to keep the camera steady was another thing entirely. Man, it was slippery. The cleats on my boots helped immensely, but I really needed knee cleats. Getting down low was, well, I just kept sliding down the ice. Still, it was worth it. The wind was warm, but it was screaming along. It was tearing dust off Mud Lake down by the Porcupine Hills and spinning the wind turbines up on the ridges. But as the afternoon wore on, the wind backed off a little bit. It was still pleasantly warm, and there was standing water in a lot of places. It reflected the sunlit banks on Travers Reservoir and hosted thousands of ducks and geese on the Little Bow River down below the dam. The light from the late day sun was starting to turn golden. It lit up the clouds over the reservoir and this herd of mule deer. Not a lick of snow out on this golden prairie. Sunset came quickly after that, and I found myself back down by the ice. So once more I put the cleats on my boots and went for a walk, and quickly found myself slipping around again. I was a little luckier this time, but I'd really like to know, does anyone make knee cleats?